What is going on, my friends? It's finally happened. We finally got a first look at a Santa Art the Clown Funko Pop that's coming that has the Santa suit. That is awesome. And we have some brand new Terrifier Thrilljoys that are about to drop, guys. So let's check out a couple of these cool things that are about to drop pretty soon. And let's definitely talk about that Santa Art the Clown Funko Pop and where it's coming from. Alright guys, let's get to it. Alright guys, we actually had some pretty fire announcements this week. Not too much from the Funko side. I guess we did have some cool new Predator Funko Pops that just debuted. They should be dropping this Wednesday. And we also got a look at a brand new Santa Art the Clown where he's wearing the Santa suit. We've been waiting for that with the chainsaw. And we got a first look at a whole bunch of new Thrilljoys that are coming. I'm not usually a big fan of Thrilljoys, but when it comes to Terrifier, I'll make the exception. But there was a couple cool ones that came out. They announced a whole bunch. There's a whole bunch of new Thrilljoy pics and what are the smaller ones? Are they pixels? I'm really not sure what the smaller ones are called. And I'm just now finally getting into Thrilljoys, you know, because I really like the horror ones. I liked the Terrifier ones. I liked the It ones that they put out. The Pennywise ones that they did were dope. But they announced a whole bunch of new Thrilljoy picks yesterday, like a tons, you know. But the best ones, I have to say, were the Terrifier ones. First off, with the Terrifier ones, as you can see, we have a new Art the Clown, and it looks like he's holding like a syringe. That's the common one. First of all, these are still kind of limited with the fact that they only make so many of them, you know, so calling it a common is still kind of funny, you know, even though it is still pretty rare, they're kind of limited. But the common is an Art the Clown, and as you can see, it looks like he's holding a syringe. It's pretty cool. I dig it. I like it compared to the other ones too, you know, so it's pretty cool to have multiple Art the Clowns. But all of these have a chase and a super chase. So the chase for this one, if you don't get the Art the Clown, you have a chance of a chase and a super chase. So the chase for this one is a Sienna Shaw. As you can see, she's in her Angel Warrior outfit, guys, so it's an Angel Warrior Sienna Shaw, guys, and then the super chase is the Clown Cafe host. You guys know from the Clown Cafe scene from Terrifier 2, that is the super chase, guys. What do you guys think about this set? You know, what do you guys think about Thrilljoys? You know, I'm just now really getting into them. You guys know I'm a pop collector, you know, but these Thrilljoys are actually pretty dope. I like how they're already limited, you know, and I like how you have the opportunity to get any more. You already know that that's a clever idea for marketing them because, you know, people want to get all three of them, you know, so people are going to be buying multiple of them, you know, and that is a super chase, so it's definitely understandable why there's so much hype around these Thrilljoys. They're pretty cool, guys. You know, I really dig the Terrifier set, you know, I love all three of them, you know, so that's another thing too, because with a collector like me, it's like, oh, you want to get all three of them, you know, but they're so dope. Which one do you guys prefer? Which one do you guys like the best out of the three? The Art the Clown, the Sienna, or the Clown Cafe host? You know, they're all really freaking dope. You know, whichever one you get is a cool one, you know, but it's pretty clever. It's pretty clever for marketing and pretty clever to sell them, you know, for that guarantees they almost sell out, you know, every time. But yeah, we'll drive up a resale market, but still really clever, you know, it's really clever. But you know, Terrifier ones, I have a feeling that they'll sell out like the first day. But let me know which one's your favorite, guys. The Art the Clown, the Sienna Shaw, or the Clown Cafe host. They are freaking dope. I'm really digging them. You know, I'm really thinking about getting these and adding to the collection. You know, I really want to. You know, I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Should I start collecting more Thrilljoys? For Terrifier, I'll make the exception. I definitely will, you know. There was a couple of other cool ones that they announced too. Like there was a Beetlejuice set I thought was really cool, where the only thing I wish they wouldn't have done Lydia. I wish there would have been a new Beetlejuice style. That one would have been cooler. I don't know why, just because if the regular is Lydia. I love the Sandworm. The chase for that set is a Sandworm, and then the super chase is Miss Argentina. Those are both freaking awesome. You know, I wish the regular one would have been a Beetlejuice. You know, I don't know what. Lydia's cool too, you know, don't get me wrong, but I have a feeling that it would be a lot more popular if it was, you know, a character that it was either, if you're gonna go with like not main characters but cool characters or creatures from Beetlejuice, you know, I think that they should have done somebody else. Maybe the flat guy, you know, the flat guy on the wall, you know, from the original, the first Beetlejuice, you know, that flat guy that's hanging up, you know, that would have been a funnier one, you know, something like that. Been a little bit better than just the Lydia, you know, but I still think people are gonna buy them for the chase and the super chase because the Sandworm is dope, and Miss Argentina, you know, they're freaking awesome, you know, so people are probably trying for those ones. You know, I just wish that the regular one would have been a Beetlejuice, and I'll be more likely to try to get one. You know, but they also had a new Matrix set that was coming out, and the Matrix, these ones are actually pretty dope. There was a Neo one, at least the normal one was Neo, and then the chase was Morpheus. You know, so that one's pretty cool. And then the super chase was another Neo, but he's there all loaded up with his guns and stuff on the end of the first one. But it's a pretty cool figure, you know, they're really cool. You know, Thrilljoys are really growing on me now, I have to admit, you know, so there's some pretty dope sets. Like I said, I really dig the Terrifier one. I really want to get the Terrifier set, you know, that one is really cool. But we finally got the first look at a brand new Santa Art the Clown figure that's coming out, guys, and we've been waiting for one with him in his Santa suit, you know, because the one that dropped with Hot Topic, apparently it was the one from the promo cover or the promo posters that they had put out before Terrifier 3 came out, you know, with him in front of the tree holding the axe, you know, so he wasn't fully wearing the Santa outfit, so I guess that makes sense, you know, but it's still not the Santa Art the Clown that we were hoping for. But now we have one, and this one's going to be a Funko Shop exclusive, guys. We still have no word yet on when it's going to release. You know it's going to be pretty soon during the holidays. I wouldn't be surprised if it's around like Black Friday. Wouldn't that be clever if they did it on like Black Friday or Thanksgiving? People are already planning on spending money, so they're putting money aside, you know. So if we can get word that it's going to be dropping around Black Friday, that would be clever. At least people are already planning on spending money that day, so they have money to buy that pop. And I have a feeling with it being a Funko Shop exclusive, it probably will still sell out, but they're going to constantly restock, you know, the same way that they probably did with that one. Well, then again, who knows? Because now that we have the rumors that Funko might be going, well, obviously they're in major debt, you know, but they might be going into bankruptcy, you know. They had also made a statement saying that it's likely that they might not even be around after next year. That's pretty crazy, you know, but their stock did shoot up, like I want to say, what was it, almost like 30% overnight after making that announcement, you know, so who knows what's going on. People, maybe they're trying to drive the market up by making, I really don't know. You know, I can't say what it is, but you know that they're in a lot of debt. You know, they also gave out a whole bunch of products to these stores. Like, I remember when Hastings, that's another thing why Hastings, a store that used to be around here, is gone, because they owed Funko at the time, like, millions of dollars. So Funko was also sending product out to people who weren't paying. You know, so that could also be another reason why Funko is in debt, you know, if they're over there. Not to mention that they're mass producing so many of these Funko Pops that so many of them are sitting on shelves. You know, they're mass producing anything Star Wars, mass producing anything like Marvel or DC. They're making tons of them. You know, there's very rarely a limited Star Wars or Marvel or DC figure, and those are the ones they majority make, you know, or how many anime Funko Pops do we need? You know, like, yeah, they said the new CEO's, sorry about this little rant, yeah, they said the new CEO is a fan of One Piece, you know, but you know how many of us have never seen One Piece? Right here, a lot of people, I've never seen one episode of One Piece, the show on Netflix, and I don't know nothing about it. So I don't know why they're talking about making tons more of these anime pops and One Piece pops, you know, like, stuff like Terrifier and franchise like those that have really strong fan base are clever to make, you know, or are really nostalgic movies, you know, like, that's why when they make stuff like for Ghostbusters, or when they make stuff for, even old school movies, like when they made the Mars Attacks, you know, and even like the Big Trouble in Little China, to where it's like they have a fan base, but it's almost like this niche fan base, you know, it's like the small fan base, but they go so hard for what they love and when they stand behind it, you know, so that's why like the Terrifier pops will sell out and stuff like that, because the fan base is so hardcore that they want to collect it, they want to own it, you know, we want it in the collection, you know, so they need to focus more on franchises like that, you know, that have these really good niche audiences, you know, they need to stop overproducing Funko Pops, so that way people actually have feeling like they have something cool in their collection, not just something that anybody else can just go get. You can just go buy it, you know, in the store for $10 or from a clearance aisle, you know, for even less than what somebody had bought it for to put in their collection because they mass produced it, you know. Okay, but back on subject to the Terrifier pop, guys. It is a Funko Shop exclusive. We don't have any word yet on when it's going to drop. Hopefully, like we said, in the next couple of weeks. I wouldn't be surprised. It has to drop before the holidays. It most likely still won't ship out before the holidays, even though Funko said that they were going to try to prioritize and rush out certain Funko Pops and lines that are really hyped and sought after, you know, so hopefully with that Hot Topic Terrifier one dropping and the Entertainment Earth's one dropping, and it said that the original ship dates were like probably 2 months away. It wasn't too far if you ordered on the first day, you know, for Entertainment Earth or for Hot Topic. Obviously you had to order the first day for Hot Topic because they sold out the first day. They're probably going to restock too, but at least the delivery date that they had shown, you know, the estimated delivery date was in December, so that's still a lot sooner than what they used to be when you think about how we pre-ordered the Art vs. Sienna in November and it was estimated to ship in May, and we still didn't get it until like right before October, like the end of September, you know, so that's still better than what they were doing. You know, so hopefully we get this pop here in the next couple weeks. I wouldn't be surprised if it's around Thanksgiving or Black Friday or even sooner, so that way they can start working on the pre-orders, and as soon as the first orders ship out, I wouldn't be surprised if it restocks again, you know. Same with the Hot Topic one, guys, you know, so don't really worry about those because they're just pre-orders, you know, so the day that they start shipping out and once they like process everybody's order, then I wouldn't be surprised if there's another restock, so that way they could start selling the rest of the stock that they have, you know, or hopefully Hot Topic has another order in from Funko and they just, it would be dumb not to. I don't see why they wouldn't, you know. But let me know what you guys think about this Santa Art the Clown. Which one do you guys prefer? Do you guys like this, the Hot Topic exclusive, or do you guys like this new Funko Shop exclusive that's going to be dropping, guys? I really hope that we get one with the tree glasses. Why do we not have one with the Christmas tree glasses yet? You know, don't make it some other stupid store exclusive, though. If you're going to do it, at least do it from either, like, Funko again, or from Hot Topic even. You know, Amazon, I really don't know. If they double box the way that they had the Art vs. Sienna, then you could do it okay. Then I'm okay with Amazon, you know. But or just make it a general release, you know, so that way everyone can get it and it's not a pain in the butt, you know. But we want the Santa art with the Christmas tree glasses, you know. I'm still happy that we have this Funko Shop exclusive coming, though. It's a pretty dope pop, you know, and it's guaranteed to go in the collection. I'm gonna have to get double because I'm gonna have to open one to display and have another one, you know, in the box. Because I'm mainly an in-box collector, you know. It wasn't until like the Terrifier pops I'm like, dang, I really want to display these, you know, because how dope they are, you know. And plus I wanted to get some autographed, so it's better to have the double so that way I can see it in its full glory. Alright guys, but let me know what you think about this Funko Shop exclusive. Which Art the Clown do you guys prefer? Hot Topic version, or do you like the Funko Shop exclusive that's coming out pretty soon? What do you guys think about this Terrifier Thrilljoys that are dropping? You know, let me know what you think about those. Which one's your favorite from those? And should we start collecting more Thrilljoys? You know, let me know what you guys think. You know, they're tempting me. You know, they're pretty dope. I like the fact that they're limited, you know, and they put out some pretty cool characters. Dig the Terrifier one that we got for the Scare Fair. And I like this new set. So if they put out another set, oh my goodness, it's going to be hard not to get into these, you know. But the sooner the better, you know. I wouldn't recommend getting into them after the set drops because I have a feeling that they're going to sell out the very first day, you know, especially Terrifier ones. I don't know about the Matrix ones, but Beetlejuice, possibility, just because I have a feeling everyone's going after the chase and the super chase for that one. But if you're going for the Terrifier one, all three of them are fire, you know, whether it's Art the Clown, Santa Shaw, or the Clown Cafe host, all three of them are fire, guys, so you don't have to worry about that. Alright guys, but let me know what you guys think. What are you guys most excited for? And I will let you guys know the moment that we find out any more news about that Santa Art the Clown Funko Shop exclusive. Alright guys, so hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, come and kick it with us more often, and I really appreciate you hanging out with me right now. And until next time, I'll see you guys later.